Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, speakers, faculty members, students, and all the attendees. I, Shivangi Sinha, Assistant Professor, Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University, New Law College, Pune, would like to thank each one of you for joining us for Dr. Patangrao Kadam Memorial Public Lecture Series 2023 based on the theme Democracy and Judicial Legal System. Today, we are here to celebrate the beginning of the birth anniversary of our founder, late Dr. Patangrao Kadam, without whose vision the institution would not have come to this level as it does today, and birthday week of our Vice-Chancellor, Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University, and Secretary, Bharati Vidyapeeth University, Dr. Vishwajeet Kadam, who also is an active member of Maharashtra Legislative Assembly. Dr. Patangrao Kadam established Bharati Vidyapeeth in 1964 when he was hardly 18 years old. From the beginning, his vision was to develop Bharati Vidyapeeth as a distinct educational institution. His vision and ambitions are reflected in the Constitution, wherein he had included to establish our own university as one of the objectives of Bharati Vidyapeeth. He cherished his ambition and visualized this possibility at a time when the concept of deemed university was yet to emerge and to be accepted. His dream came true when the Government of India, on the recommendation of the University Grant Commission, accorded deemed to be university status to the 12th Constituent Unit of Bharati Vidyapeeth on 26 April 1996. Thus, we are here to celebrate not just the memories but the man himself. Thank you. Now, to further proceed with the event, I would like to hand over the mic to Mukti and Oshma.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to all the dignitaries present on and off the dais. I, Mukti Heliwal.
And I, Ushma Jain, students of 5th year Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University, New Law College, Pune, welcome you all for the Dr. Patangrao Kadam Memorial Public Lecture Series 2023.
Jeff Britton once said, I sometimes stand in front of train, watching the tunnel ahead, imagining what anthem would look like on stage. Let us begin this auspicious ceremony today with the Bharati Vidyapeeth Geet.
सहकार्याचे सत्कार्याचे सहकार्याचे सत्कार्याचे प्रतीक येथे आहे प्रतीक येथे आहे
सहकार्याचे सत्कार्याचे सहकार्याचे सत्कार्याचे प्रतीक येथे आहे सहकार्याचे सत्कार्याचे प्रतीक येथे आहे या देशाचे विद्याभूषण ज्ञानपीठ आहे या देशाचे विद्याभूषण ज्ञानपीठ आहे ज्ञानपीठ आहे भारती विद्यापीठ आहे भारती विद्यापीठ आहे भारती विद्यापीठ आहे संगमरवरी उभे शिल्प हे स्वप्नाभाळाचे संगमरवरी उभे शिल्प हे स्वप्नाभाळाचे
ज्ञानदानान पुण्याईचे ज्ञानदानान पुण्याईचे पावन मंदिर आहे पावन मंदिर आहे
पावन मंदिर आहे पावन मंदिर आहे भारती विद्यापीठ आहे
भारती विद्यापीठ आहे, भारती विद्यापीठ आहे.
वादळातुनी झेप घेतली ध्येय पतंगाने, तुफानाशी झुंज घेतली कुणी आनंदाने. वादळातुनी झेप घेतली ध्येय पतंगाने, तुफानाशी झुंज घेतली कुणी आनंदाने. यशवंताचे यशोगीत हे मूर्तिमंत गाणे, यशवंताचे यशोगीत हे मूर्तिमंत गाणे.
निर्धाराची निश्चल निष्ठा, निर्धाराची निश्चल निष्ठा त्याग मागते आहे, त्याग मागते आहे.
त्याग मागते आहे, त्याग मागते आहे. भारती विद्यापीठ आहे,
भारती विद्यापीठ आहे, भारती विद्यापीठ आहे.
सह्यागिरीची पर्वतराजी सभोवती सुंदर, सह्यागिरीची पर्वतराजी सभोवती सुंदर. दिनदुबळ्यांची वाट वळावी असेच फुले घर, दिनदुबळ्यांची वाट वळावी असेच फुले घर. नंदनवन हे फुला मुलांचे सेवेला तत्पर, नंदनवन हे फुला मुलांचे सेवेला तत्पर.
मानवतेची निर्मळ गंगा, मानवतेची निर्मळ गंगा इथे वाहते आहे, इथे वाहते आहे.
इथे वाहते आहे, इथे वाहते आहे. भारती विद्यापीठ आहे,
भारती विद्यापीठ आहे, भारती विद्यापीठ आहे.
छत्रपतींच्या कर्मवीरांच्या कार्याची प्रेरणा, छत्रपतींच्या कर्मवीरांच्या कार्याची प्रेरणा. ध्येय शक्ती फुलांच्या मनातील कल्पना, ध्येय शक्ती फुलांच्या मनातील कल्पना. सुमंगलाची विज्ञानाची आम्ही करू प्रार्थना, सुमंगलाची विज्ञानाची आम्ही करू प्रार्थना.
येणारा प्रत्येक क्षण हा, येणारा प्रत्येक क्षण हा आमच्यासाठी आहे, आमच्यासाठी आहे.
आमच्यासाठी आहे, आमच्यासाठी आहे. भारती विद्यापीठ आहे,
भारती विद्यापीठ आहे, भारती विद्यापीठ आहे.
सहकार्याचे सत्कार्याचे, सहकार्याचे सत्कार्याचे प्रतीक येथे आहे, सहकार्याचे सत्कार्याचे प्रतीक येथे आहे. या देशाचे विद्याभूषण ज्ञानपीठ आहे, या देशाचे विद्याभूषण ज्ञानपीठ आहे, ज्ञानपीठ आहे. भारती विद्यापीठ आहे,
भारती विद्यापीठ आहे, भारती विद्यापीठ आहे, भारती विद्यापीठ आहे.
I won't be far away, for life goes on. Just listen with your heart and you'll hear all my love all around you. Dr. Patangrao Kadam, being a philanthropist of repute, made his dream of establishing this university come true. His presence will always be felt around us as long as the university prospers. We thereby pay our tribute to the man of his thoughts. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly shower petals of love and affection as a floral tribute to our founder, Dr. Patangrao Kadam. The tribute will then be followed by lighting of lamp. To kindly light the lamp. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I kindly request to play the film on the life of our founder, Dr. Patangrao Kadam.
The bond which we shared, I would say that Patangrao ji had magnetic personality. In fact, my limited knowledge of English doesn't allow me to draw parallel to two words. Patangrao हे उमदे आणि रांगडे होते. त्यांच्यासारखा उमदा आणि खऱ्या अर्थानं ग्रामीण बाज असलेला असं व्यक्तिमत्व हे आपल्याला मिळणं कठीण आहे. अँड द वे एव्हरीबडी हॅज नरेटेड हिज जर्नी, इट इज फेनोमेनल. अ पर्सन विथ नथिंग, absolutely no money, comes to city like Pune, and that creates entire empire with all his efforts, with all his limited resources. He goes on developing institution after institution, and they do not just grow by numbers, but they grow by quality. And I think this is the biggest contribution which Patangrao ji has given, because today, in the field of education, what we require most is quality. We have expanded ambit of our education so as to reach it to the masses. But at the same time, the quality is most important, and every single institution under Bharati Vidyapeeth family is imparting quality education. And I think we will never forget this contribution of Patangrao ji to the state of Maharashtra and to the nation.
I will do something unusual. I was thinking, how do I pay tribute to Dr. Patangrao Kadam ji? I thought I'll address him first. Then I thought that might be not in propriety of things. Now that I have addressed you, I must tell, I'm addressing him, Dr. Patangrao Kadam ji, who is not here, but his invisible self is here, and all of you are witnessing it. He established this institution at a small scale at the age of 19. I always asked myself, was it ambition or was it some kind of eagerness to manifest or something else? I felt if you have an ambition, you cannot bring up an educational institution. You may have a business empire, because for establishing an educational institution, you require dedication, respect for education, and selflessness. He was a teacher. A teacher has an aspiration to teach. A teacher has a desire to be respected by the taught. And he felt that in rural India, the children, the young boys and girls, are not getting proper higher education. That was the year 1964. In 1964, there was no mushrooming of colleges, no mushrooming of educational institution. And in that year, when he established this institution, I must say, it's not ambition, it's commitment, love, and respect for education.
Professor Dr. Vivek Saoji, Vice-Chancellor, Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University, Pune, having more than 34 years of teaching and clinical experience and 22 years of academic administrative experience. Sir was awarded with the prestigious Feimer Fellowship in year 2003-2004 for pursuing his advanced training in medical education and leadership at International Feimer Institute, Philadelphia, USA. I humbly invite Sir to kindly address the gathering by his kind words.
Dignitaries on the dais, chief guest of today's function, Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Honorable Secretary and Pro Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Vishwajeet Kadam, the Principal of this new Law College, Pune, Dr. Ujwala Bendale, invited guests, heads of the institutions, faculty members, officials of Bharati Vidyapeeth, advocates, students, members of the print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I extend a very warm and cordial welcome to our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji, Sir, we are extremely grateful to you for accepting our invitation and to deliver this Dr. Patangrao Kadam Memorial Lecture. Your today's lecture topic, Democracy and Judicial and Legal System, will definitely give us a new perspective on this important topic, particularly in today's turbulent times. We are really grateful and honored to have your gracious presence this morning, and I am sure we are all eager to listen to your lecture. I also extend a warm welcome to our secretary, officials of the university, faculty members, students, members of the print and electronic media, and my dear friends. On the occasion of the 79th birth anniversary of our founder, late Dr. Patangrao Kadam Sahib, this Patangrao Kadam Memorial Public Lecture Series has been initiated. And we have a very eminent personality today to deliver the first lecture. We are indeed honored to have your presence. Sir, as has been told by many luminaries, and at the cost of repetition, I must acknowledge the contribution of our founder, Dr. Patangrao Kadam. And as all of us are aware, he started from a very humble beginning, established Bharati Vidyapeeth in the year 1964. And he had a firm belief and conviction that empowering the masses, particularly in the rural area, the best way to do that would be to provide opportunities in education, which were limited then. He particularly noted that the students in the rural area were weak in English and mathematics, and so he started with the classes in English and mathematics. Subsequently, he established a primary school, and then there was no looking back. In 1978, he entered the foray in higher education with the establishment of Arts, Science, Commerce College. In 1984, it was in the professional education with Engineering College, and subsequently in 1988-89, it was Medical College and the other institutions. Today, Bharati Vidyapeeth, under its umbrella, has more than 290 educational institutes imparting quality education from pre-primary to postdoctoral levels. And in all the streams of education, whether it is humanities, whether it is arts, commerce, science, whether it is law, management, environmental sciences, health sciences, and all streams of education, the Bharati Vidyapeeth has its presence. And as it was just alluded, that it's not just about education, but it's about quality education. The Honorable Patangrao Sahib was always very particular. He always used to say, there cannot be any compromise on quality. And his words still echo in us. His legacy is being carried forward by our Chancellor, Dr. Shivajirao Kadam sir, and our dynamic secretary, Dr. Vishwajeet Kadam. I think the Bharati Vidyapeeth, established on a very strong foundation, is being led into the new era by our Honorable Secretary and with the help of our staff, faculty members, and the employees of our organization. Sir, now in today's era, there has been a paradigm shift in the education which is there, particularly unveiling new education policy and the intricacies in that. Just 2 days back, the UGC has mooted the draft regulation for opening of the higher education for the international universities. So we are in a very dynamic and a turbulent times, and if we have to be making progress, if we have to grow, then we also need to be with time, not just with time, ahead of times, and ensure that how we are able to engage the learners, how we are able to make difference in their lives. So I think that is a challenge before all of us, but I'm sure we will be able to withstand that, we will be able to overcome that. And Bharati Vidyapeeth, as I said, which has more than 290 institutions, all imparting quality education, which has been again affirmed by the various ranking and accreditations which the university and its various institutes have. We are one of the institutions, universities which has been accredited and re-accredited by A grade by NAC. Our last accreditation cycle, we got a A++ with a CGPA of 3.53. We are a category 1 university, and there are innumerable other recognitions and awards. This speaks of the quality which is being validated by the agencies of national importance. We are also in the NIRF ranking and the top 100 universities in the country. But this poses us with an additional responsibility to not only maintain these standards, but improve on these standards. Sir, our focus is always on the students. We strive to ensure that they not only gain knowledge and skills, but develop right kind of attitudes, become not only good professionals, but good, caring, responsible citizens. Sir, your topic of vibrant democracy and the legal framework is going to throw new insights. We are all, as I said, we are all eager to hear you. What I would say in the end is that democracy, I think we get all freedom, but with that there is a responsibility. We have to abide by the rules, regulations, the various laws which are there. So we will be getting these insights from your lecture, and we are really keen to listen to you. Once again, I welcome you and also thank you for sparing your valuable time to be among us this morning. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for such a warm welcome. To make this occasion more happier, I would be glad to request Dr. Vishwajeet Kadam, Secretary Bharati Vidyapeeth and Pro Vice-Chancellor Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University Pune, to felicitate our guest of honor, Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Sir, please. I would request our Dean and In-Charge Principal, Dr. Ujwala Bendale ma'am, to kindly felicitate Dr. Vishwajeet Kadam, Secretary Bharati Vidyapeeth and Pro Vice-Chancellor Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, Pune. So, further, I would request ma'am to kindly felicitate Professor Dr. Vivek Saoji, Vice-Chancellor Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, Pune. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
It's a glad welcome we bring to you this morning, filled with desires, hopes, and dreams we all share. I am profusely elated to take the opportunity to welcome Dr. Ujwala Bendale, ma'am, Dean and Principal in Charge, Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University New Law College, to introduce our chief guest of the day, Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, sir, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Ma'am, please.
Good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I welcome you all to Dr. Patangrao Kadam Memorial Public Lecture Series 2023, organized by Bharati Vidyapeeth and Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, Pune. Today, I warmly welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge, Supreme Court of India, a very humble, down-to-earth personality and upholder of dignity of human beings. I also wholeheartedly welcome Honorable Professor Dr. Shivajirao Kadam sir, Chancellor Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, a compassionate leader of Bharati Vidyapeeth fraternity. Though sir is not here with us on the dais, his blessings and wishes are always with us. Very graciously, I welcome Honorable Dr. Vishwajeet Kadam sir, Secretary Bharati Vidyapeeth and Pro-Vice-Chancellor Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, a visionary, youth icon and torchbearer of Bharati Vidyapeeth. I heartily welcome Honorable Professor Dr. Vivek Saoji, Vice-Chancellor Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, a brilliant, skillful administrator of Bharati Vidyapeeth. I fervently welcome Honorable Dr. Asmita Jagtap, Executive Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Health Sciences, the inspiration of Bharati Vidyapeeth. Madam's support and wishes are also with us always. I now take the privilege to introduce to you Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge, Supreme Court of India, the guarantor of quality justice to the masses. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji was born in Udaipur, Rajasthan in 1958. Honorable Justice Maheshwari ji had completed his BSc Honours in Physics from Maharaja's College, Rajasthan University, Jaipur, and LLB from Jodhpur University. Lordship enrolled as an advocate with Bar Council of Rajasthan in March 1981. As an advocate, Lordship practiced on original and appellate sides before Rajasthan High Court and its subordinate courts. Lordship mainly dealt with civil and constitutional matters. Lordship served as counsel for revenue and excise departments of government of Rajasthan and also served on several local bodies and corporations. Lordship has also been co-opted member on various disciplinary committees of Bar Council of Rajasthan. Lordship took oath as Judge of Rajasthan High Court on 2nd September 2004. Lordship served as Chairman of Rajasthan State Judicial Academy and Administrative Judge of Rajasthan High Court. Lordship served as Senior Judge of Allahabad High Court and took oath on 19 July 2014. Further, Lordship was appointed as Chief Justice of High Court of Meghalaya on 24th February 2016 and then as Chief Justice of High Court of Karnataka on 12th February 2018, and Lordship got elevated as Judge of Supreme Court of India on 18 January 2019. Lordship has diligently conveying justice to the citizens of the nation. I take this opportunity to cite following significant judgments of Lordship. Firstly, Bajranga versus State of Madhya Pradesh, wherein Honorable Justice said, right to property is still a constitutional right under Article 300A of the Constitution of India, though not a fundamental right, and the deprivation of the right can only be in accordance with the procedure established by law. In another case, Nisha Priya Bhatia versus Union of India, Lordship held that a non-holistic working environment is the basic limb of dignified employment, and the cases of sexual harassment at workplace is not confined to cases of actual commission of acts of harassment, but also covers situations wherein women employee is subjected to prejudice, hostility, discriminatory attitude, and humiliation in day-to-day functioning at the workplace. Then, the EVS reservation case where Justice Maheshwari was a part of majority upholding the 103rd Constitution Amendment providing EWS reservations. Lordship extended the net of reservation benefits to include solely economic backwardness. Next in line are cases regarding Zakia Zafri and Gujarat riots, FCR amendments, challenges to prevention of money laundering, and the list does not end here. Now, I request the august gathering present over here to give standing ovation to Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji, Judge Supreme Court of India, for upkeeping the faith of laymen in democracy and the judicial legal system of this country. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Lordship, with your permission, and before we proceed ahead, I would very briefly inform you about Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University New Law College, Pune, and its working and functioning. Lordship, our college is consistently ranked among the top 5 private law colleges in India. It is reaccredited with A+ grade by NAC in 2017. It is one of the constituent units of Bharati Vidyapeeth University, Pune, recognized by Bar Council of India and University Grants Commission. The institution offers quality legal education from undergraduate level to PhD level. Lordship, Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University New Law College, was the pioneer and very first in India to offer multidisciplinary BBA LLB 5 years integrated course. The college aims at training and producing global legal professionals well equipped with modern advocacy and ICT skills. Lordship, the students at our organizations play an integral part through not just academics, but also organizing various events and running multiple student initiative-based cells, like the Moot Court Society, which organizes prestigious Justice P.N. Bhagwati International Human Rights Moot Court competition for last 10 years, wherein 25 different nations from Europe, Africa, Middle East, Asia, they participate. Then, Madhyasthata, the Alternative Dispute Resolution Cell, has been working efficiently in training and developing the skill sets of students in the field of ADR. Our ADR cell is in collaboration with the London Mediation Academy UK, which guides and trains our students in ADR and mediation for becoming global lawyers. Lordship, there are various other cells of the college, like Environmental Cell, the Legal Aid Cell, Legal Research Center, the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Law, Advanced Exploration Training of Intellectual Property and Cyber Law Cells, Society for Advanced Research and Analysis of Labor Laws, Center for Community Development through Law. And let me tell you, Lordship, the cells, they groom the students to choose successful global legal careers. Lordship, we all know that, the vision of our beloved Sahib was to go global with his sole weapon of education. We at Bharati Vidyapeeth New Law College, Pune, are trying to contribute to the vision of our beloved founder, Honorable Dr. Patangrao Kadam Sahib. Here is a short film from our end through which we pay our tribute to Sahib's magnificent vision of global legal education. Please display the...
Bharati Vidyapeeth University New Law College of India for inviting me to speak about dispute resolution. I would also like to thank the Bharati Vidyapeeth Committee and its Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Kadam, for his vision behind social and dynamic education, which allows students to step out of their comfort zone and achieve success.
I'm so glad to be here today for the collaboration with Bharati Vidyapeeth University New Law College. The college is flourishing with all its capabilities, which is very evidently seen in the students. The Mayasa cell is a very hard-working cell, and I can vote that the future of IDR in the country is well secured with such enthusiastic students. All the very best on this 2023.
Hi, my name is Rana Sajad. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be here today. It's a pleasure to be here and present my views and share my thoughts on some important issues regarding alternative dispute resolution.
Thank you. Dear all, today's subject of Dr. Patangrao Kadam Memorial Lecture Series is Democracy and Judicial Legal System. I take this opportunity to inform you that democracy and judicial legal system are not the 21st century concepts. Rather, its origin is found in Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna, while preaching Arjuna, said that democracy has always been the essence of humanity, and where there is democracy, there is equality. Judicial legal system is vitality, the strength of democracy, and whenever equality is breached, sanctions will follow through judicial actions. Once again, I welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and thank you all for your patience listening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now is the time for what we all have gathered for. It is an honor for us to hear Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Sir, Judge Supreme Court of India, for which all of us have been eagerly waiting for. I cordially invite Sir to shower his words of wisdom. Sir, please.
ठीक है इज इट ओके मेरे को ओके नहीं उधर सुनने वाले को ओके चाहिए ना इज ओके Adjustment everywhere is required, no? Thank you so very much. Good afternoon to everybody. Good morning to everybody. Before we enter into the afternoon, we are sorry a bit late we are running, but thank you all for your patience. Dr. Vishwajeet Kadam, the Secretary, Bharati Vidyapeeth and Pro Vice-Chancellor, Professor Dr. Vivek Saoji, Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Ujwala Bendale, Dean and Principal in Charge, New Law College, all the learned professors and other teaching staff, the learned advocates, the non-teaching staff, the other dignitaries, dear students, media persons, ladies, gentlemen. Sitting here on this methodically laid out stage here in the campus of Bharati Vidyapeeth, I was just wondering about the fusion of two things. On the right side of us are all the dignitaries in all colors here, and on the left side of us are all our students duly regimented in one uniform. And that is the fusion, well, that is the hallmark of our society, the India as a whole. And it's a wonderful feeling in anyone who is a citizen of India to be a part of that culture, that society where the unity in diversity is the hallmark. It has always remains the basics, and it continues. We always grow from our diversities. The diversities have never, well, operated against our progression. Thank you very much to the management having invited me over here. It is indeed my immense pleasure to inaugurate Dr. Patangrao Kadam Memorial Public Lecture Series 2023 with the days which are marking his birth anniversary. I'm indeed thankful to the institution, to all, to have given me this chance here to be with you once again. The first day when I came to this campus for the admission of my son here in the new law college, this was the same campus and the same place where I was waiting for meeting the then principal, Professor Sharda. And I was wonderstruck with the methodical layout and the discipline all around this campus with the different institutions, the different faculties, different subjects, different instructions, and still a fundamental discipline all around being maintained by everyone. And it's a great feeling to see the same kind of discipline being maintained here. The only thing that has changed is that the trees have grown a bit better and bigger, and I hope that we will grow on, well, growing as these trees. I'm sure the seeds of them, the foundation of them were laid by the great visionary, Dr. Patangrao Kadam. The credit of establishment and then meaningful development of Bharati Vidyapeeth and its all allied concerns goes essentially to his dynamic leadership and definitely undaunted hard work. An educationist he was at heart, as we heard, who reached out to the poorest of the poor students while supporting farmers too, as I'm told. As we understand, he was a philanthropist of repute who established several trusts also to provide every kind of assistance to the persons in need, particularly to the disadvantaged sections of society, and was instrumental in setting up various institutions. Now, his commitment to the education sector has resulted in setting up of these institutions of substance, which have now acquired indeed a great goodwill all around. The rich legacy is keenly carried forward by Dr. Vishwajeet Kadam, the dynamic secretary and Vice-Chancellor, and I'm sure that his innovative skills shall go a long way in ensuring that the institutions scale yet further heights. I wish these endeavors all success with the Honorable Vice-Chancellor Saoji now contributing his own vast experience. I'm sure Bharati Vidyapeeth universities and all its allied institutions are going to go strength to strength. Friends, today's subject for discussion is democracy and judicial legal system. I must say both are extremely significant and complementary to each other. Our students of law always come across one particular expression, rule of law, and we keep on wondering about the vast variety of the meanings which are assigned to the rule of law and which helps us, well, understanding better as to what the law is about and what we as law professionals would be doing in all our future endeavors. Respect for the rule of law and a well-developed justice system, they are the underpinnings of a democratic society and of course a modern economy also. Democracy is not only a form of government or a framework of collective governance, but is a system and process which organizes the societal lives of the individuals. If considered not solely as an instrument of the government, but as a rule to which the entire society, including the government, is bound, the rule of law is fundamental in advancing democracy. Rule of law resolves conflicts, fosters social interactions. In accord with the legal norms, it enhances predictability, equitable treatment, and a respect for basic human rights, provides services in accord with societal demands and expectations, helps curb the arbitrary exercise and abuse of power by any branch of the government, and so on. Friends, democracy needs the architecture of law, Ministry of Justice, courts, legislative scrutiny, law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, public defenders, police, correctional systems, legal statutes, contracts, university level academic education to train lawyers, judges, and investigators, along with the constant engagement with the civil society to promote a culture of lawfulness. So this much is, well, the role played by different persons as also the institutions while the democracy is at march. Demosprudence, this is a term of fairly recent origin that means that democratically oriented judicial creativity, in a way it is sought to be defined. It uses the prudence of demos or the people to ensure that the fundamental wrongs which they were hitherto subjected to are transformed into fundamental rights. In a vibrant democracy like that of India, the practice of demosprudence embodies the transformative spirit of the Indian Constitution and translates the hopes and aspirations of the people in the remedies for their maladies. When a nation's constitution, its organizational, procedural, and substantive laws, and its regulations are adequate to its need, rule of law is ensured, which in turn fosters the democratic process. These are all interconnected features, friends. The blindfolded woman holding a sword and a set of scales, standing upright, Lady Justicia, represents the idea of democracy in the judicial legal system. Her blindfold is a reminder that the scales of justice should not be swayed by external influences. Her scales represent how opinions are weighed objectively, and the sword symbolizes the authority of law in punishing those who transgress. The parties in litigation and for society as a whole, the court process provides a kind of alternative democratic arena where arguments between the sections of the public and the powers of the state are exchanged, and the questions of general concerns are debated. The participation of citizens in the judicial process, ensuring equal justice to all, regardless of race, gender, religion, or economic status, is the reflection of democratic principles inbuilt in the judicial legal system. Though Right to Information Act, public interest litigation, fundamental rights, duties enshrined in our Constitution, alternative dispute redressal mechanisms, evolution of e-courts, ensuring that every citizen has a right to seek legal remedy when wronged, and the principles of procedural fairness and due process of law with a transparent and impartial decision-making process, rule of law and democracy are maintained, and they remain always in a state of constant progression. Furthermore, friends, with the advent of technology, now there had been exponential growth rate with respect to access to the internet. As a means of ensuring collective access to justice, institution of virtual proceedings helps in ensuring that the litigants in rural areas and poorer socio-economic backgrounds are also able to attend the hearings remotely. Technology thus bridges the divide between various stakeholders in the justice system. More recently, the court started live streaming of the proceedings, which was also a step to foster more collective and involved discourse around judicial decision making and making justice more accessible, and simultaneously allowing law students and other members of the public to observe and learn from the daily proceedings of the court. Friends, the aim of judicial review, again, is to ensure that the ensured democratic outcomes while preserving the popular participation in the democratic process. The Constitution makers of India very wisely incorporated in the Constitution the provisions of judicial review as an important feature of democracy, so as to maintain the balance of federalism to protect the fundamental rights guaranteed to the citizen and to afford a useful weapon for equality and freedom. Even if the power of judicial review is a necessary component and as a result an immovable part of the fundamental framework of our constitutionally established parliamentary democracy, it cannot exceed and impinge upon the power of the parliament to make laws. This is this synergy of separation of power and judicial review that is the heart and soul of our democracy. This is particularly for the law students that we can remind ourselves that the courts have applied this very balance of separation of powers, and while dealing with some of the constitutional amendments, and when we look at the challenge to the constitutional amendment and response of the Supreme Court, we find that whenever there was direct abrogation of the features of judicial review, like the cases of Keshwananda, Minerva Mills, and Samba Murthy, or where there was a case of where the plenary jurisdiction of the Constitutional Court was sought to be taken away, L. Chandra Kumar, and where the independence of judiciary was considered to be under challenge, NJC judgment, well, the Supreme Court frowned upon those constitutional amendments. They found to be hitting the basic structure of the Constitution. Friends, Honorable Justice Beg, on the issue of reservations, in his landmark judgment in N.M. Thomas, opined that the functional democracy postulates participation by all sections of people and fair representation in administration is an index of such participation. I'm picking up this interesting and a very significant concept of participation for a few more areas of discussion. For the students of law, particularly when we are attending on our classes of jurisprudence, we are taught, apart from other things, that 3 P's are very important to understand the whole of the jurisprudence: the person, property, and possession. And then we find that if we have our concepts about these 3 P's clear, person, property, and possession, fundamentals of jurisprudence are understood. Add another P to that, and you find the democracy at its dynamic best, and that is participation. Participation is the key word, friends, when it comes to democracy and demosprudence. It is all about participation, as Justice Beg placed that in N.M. Thomas, though it was in relation to reservations and representations. But then you find whether it is a physical mode of provisions like opening of more courts, even at right up to taluka levels, or providing video conferencing, whether it is improving system and providing more avenues like alternative dispute redressal mechanisms, that is was being just indicated by previous speakers, or whether it is relaxing the locus standi rules and advent of PILs or the court's suo motu cognizance, or whether it is the operation of the institutions like state legal services authorities at state level, National Legal Services Authority or the District Legal Services Authority. The ultimate is the goal of ensuring participation of all. Friends, we were reminded of by my previous speakers about the fundamental of our jurisprudence and our ethos, right from the teachings available in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Well, there are, as students of legal history, we find that Indian jurisprudence and legal systems have been embedded in dharma. Dharma has been fundamental. That's a Sanskrit expression. It is, but it is of widest amplitude. It refers to justice. It also refers to what is right. It gives precise meaning depending upon the context, but it is always considered to be supreme and foundation of all the affairs of the world. In the universal context, India has always believed in the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means that the world is one family. It has also been inspired by the philosophy of Upanishads, where it was said, where it was aspired and expected, Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarva Santu Nirmabhay. Now these concepts, meaning that may everyone be happy, may everyone be free from all diseases, may everyone see goodness in everything, may none be unhappy or distressed. These have been the fundamentals on which our legal systems have been based and have grown, and on which the rule of law has developed in India, regulating the conduct of the persons themselves, as also their conduct towards state and towards humanity at large. These fundamentals are innate and ingrained in the Constitution of India. The Constitution of India has at its heart the individual, and the rights of the individuals are recognized as fundamental. Significantly, some of the fundamental rights are guaranteed to all the persons, whether they are citizens or not, like Article 21, the right of life and personal liberty. These are systematically balanced with the demands of public order, morality, and health. The Constitution of India has also created a strong and independent judiciary, as we were just indicating. Friends, it's interesting to notice that the structure and frame of the Indian Constitution is succinctly explained in the opening passage of the introduction on the website of the Supreme Court in these words, and I quote, India has one of the oldest legal systems in the world. Its law and jurisprudence stretches back into the centuries, forming a living tradition which has grown and evolved with the lives of its diverse people. India's commitment to law is created in the constitution which constituted India into a sovereign democratic republic, containing a federal system with parliamentary form of government in the union and the states, an independent judiciary, guaranteed fundamental rights, and directive principles of state policy containing objectives which, though not enforceable in law, are fundamental to the governance of the nation. This gives anybody fairly a clear idea as to what India is and what Indian Constitution is. Preamble to our Constitution indicates the source from it comes, that is the people of India, throws light on its aims and objectives, main objectives being to ensure the dignity of individual, unity and integrity of nation by promoting fraternity among the people. It casts a duty on the government to promote welfare by securing and protecting as effectively as it may a social order in which justice, social, economic and political shall form a part of all the institutions of the national life. Apart from, well, other features, friends, and this is for anybody, whether he is a student of law or is keen to understand as to how our system, our democracy, and the judicial legal system will go hand in hand, and that is how we grow together. Well, it's a study of something like Article 32 of the Constitution of India is very interesting. By virtue of this article, the right to constitutional remedies to enforce the right conferred by Part 3 of the Constitution, that itself has been assigned a status of the fundamental right. So to have a remedy itself, will have a remedy for dealing with or for infringement of any fundamental right, that itself having been assigned the role of, having been assigned the level of fundamental right, that is the beauty of our Constitution, and the examples are unending. I may indicate yet another unique feature which very many times, even for the law students also, they escape attention, and that is the 6th schedule to the Constitution of India. When a student of law, particularly when looking at the 6th schedule, will find that this 6th schedule is a mini constitution in itself, governing the administration of tribal areas of the northeastern part of the country. In fact, great care was bestowed upon the question of proper constitutional setup for those tribal areas, in the manner that the expectations of people of that area were met, and on the other hand, those areas were assimilated in the mainstream. The autonomous district councils there, constituted under the 6th schedule, enjoys the powers of their own for dealing with the tribals of that region. Those powers include the legislative, executive, and even adjudicatory powers. The unique features of the Constitution of India could further be appreciated from its Part 21, making special provisions for different constituents of our federation, while taking care of the peculiarities of each area and each regions. Friends, over the years, the courts have continued to interpret our constitutional provisions with the assistance, with the able inputs from the law professionals in the first place. Every thought process was tinkered by, well, somewhere it started with some law professional, the lawyer, the legal brain thinking a new idea, a concept to, well, grow further. The students of New Law College particularly, who are going to be the law professionals for tomorrow, the great hopes and expectations would always remain towards all of you. Our democracy and our judicial legal system will always look upon you to maintain what has hitherto we have traversed, and then ensure that we grow further, maintaining our basics, maintaining our ethos, but at the same time, well, competing with anything which is new, whether it is technology or whether it is thought. Apart from other hallmarks, friends, particularly for the students, I'm tempted to say that in all these pursuits and your progression, I'm sure you will be contributing more and more than what has been contributed until yesterday. And that is how the future would be a brighter one. But there is one particular feature which to every law student in particular and anybody in general, I'm tempted to narrate a story and will leave it to you to ponder over as to what are the teachings therefrom and what would be expected of you, what you can expect of yourself, and how you can grow better. We just now heard about the life and times and the contributions of Dr. Patangrao Kadam, the founder of this institution. Starting from a humble beginning, starting from a scratch, not having any specified route available to him, with his, of course, hard work, determination, he has been able to lay the foundations where you all are sitting today, and you all would be growing. Obviously, apart from anything else, it must have been his down-to-earth approach towards the real and the basics that has helped in these kind of institutions coming up, you being the beneficiary today. In all these efforts, in all these endeavors, one of the fundamental remains which I request every student of law particularly, and even otherwise to every one of us, to keep on reminding ourselves as to what we ought to be. This story is, some of you might have come across it more than once, but I'm tempted to recite it over again every time. The story is about the great poet Kalidas, one of the greatest who had contributed immensely to not only to our literature, to our thoughts also. Great Kalidas, once after having traversed through a jungle, reached a village. It had been a summer day. He was feeling thirsty. He reached a village. He saw an old woman drawing water from a well. Thirsty as he was, he went there, did namaskar, and asked for a handful of water. He was feeling thirsty. The old lady asked him that, yes, son. No, it's okay. Thank you. I'll be giving you water, no problem. Please introduce yourself. Who are you? Now, this was insulting for the great Kalidas. Is a great person of repute, everybody knows him. And this old rustic woman of village asking for his introduction. Anyway, he said, well, she's not worth introducing himself. And it was quite demeaning for Kalidas to say that I am Kalidas. Of course, you are supposed to be knowing me, you ignorant fool. So, but he controlled himself. He was looking for, but he was thirsty at that time. So he said, Mother, treat me as a traveler. She said, no, you can't be a traveler. Travelers are two only, sun and the moon. They keep on traveling every day, keep on repeating, re-emerging, setting, rising, setting. You can't be the traveler. Now, this was quite an intriguing aspect when the lady says that you can't be a traveler. Kalidas said, okay, mother, treat me as a tolerant person. I am a tolerant person. Please give me water. No, you can't be the tolerant. Tolerant are only two, Mother Earth and the tree. You keep on stamping on the earth or you keep on throwing stones at the tree, they keep on nurturing you, they keep on holding you, they keep on helping you. They are the tolerant. You can't be the tolerant. Okay, then I am a stubborn person. No. You can't be stubborn either. Stubborn are only our hair and nail. You keep on cutting them and they keep on growing. You can't be stubborn either. Now this was too much. He said, okay, I'm a fool. No. You can't be a fool. Fool is only that king who rules without being well-versed with law. And the second one is the sycophant who praises that king. You can't be the fool either. Kalidas, it was a checkmate. He touched down her feet, said, Mother, please excuse me. Please give me a glass of water. I'm dying. I'm thirsty, please. I have no answers to your questions. When he touched her feet and rose, as the story goes, it was Goddess Saraswati who was standing before Kalidas. And what she said was that, look here, son, you have everything, you have knowledge, you have intelligence, you are a well-versed person. There is one thing which you were missing on, and that is your ego which you carry, that demeans you, that brings down your personality. Please do have everything, but don't have ego about yourself. Don't have ego with you. Friends, although this from our stories of yesteryears, the message is for all of us. You need to be learned people. You need to grow further. You need to grow much higher. You need to do much better than what we have been able to do until now. That is what the progression, living itself is progressing. But then don't allow any ego ever setting in your understanding, because whatever you understood, whatever you do, there would yet be another possibility, another understanding always available, and that is how we all grow. So wishing everybody all the very best for the years to come, and thank you so very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for such an inspiring message. Your words will surely guide all of us present here. I deem it as an honor to propose the vote of thanks today. Let's first of all start by giving glory and reverence to the Almighty for making the event a resounding success. First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our guest for the event, Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, sir, Judge Supreme Court of India, for gracing the event with his presence. Further, on behalf of Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, New Law College, Pune, I would like to thank our constant well-wishers, our patrons, Dr. Patangrao Kadam, founder Bharati Vidyapeeth University, Professor Dr. Shivajirao Kadam, Chancellor Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, Dr. Vishwajeet Kadam, Secretary Bharati Vidyapeeth and Pro Vice-Chancellor Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, and Professor Dr. Vivek Saoji, Vice-Chancellor Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, and Dr. Asmita Jagtap, Executive Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Health Sciences, for their vision, commitment, and confidence in their staff and students. I would also like to thank Dr. K.D. Jadhav, Joint Secretary, Bharati Vidyapeeth, Professor S.F. Patil, Executive Director, International Affairs Research and Training, Bharati Vidyapeeth, G. Jayakumar, Registrar, Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University, and Dr. Sagre, Joint Secretary, Bharati Vidyapeeth. Our thanks is also extended to the whole Erandwane and Kothrud campus, principals, deans, faculty members, and students for their support. I am sincerely grateful to Dr. Ujwala Bendale, Dean and Principal in Charge, for her words of encouragement. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the attendees without whom this event would not have been possible. Our national anthem, to which whenever we listen, fills us with a different sensation in our minds. I request everyone to kindly rise and celebrate our motherland, the country we live in.
विनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उत्कल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता
जय हे जय हे जय हे
जय 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 हे
भारत माता की
I request everyone to kindly take their seats. We sincerely thank the Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed to be University Homeopathic Medical College, Pune and team for bringing melody to the event.
With this, we come to an end of today's event. We thank you all for your gracious presence for making this a successful event. Thank you very much.